Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Wellness FOURplay Podcast. My name is Dr. Dondee Nettles, and we're going to talk tonight about the four stages of sleep, because it's really important that you know about sleep, whether you're getting enough, not getting enough, if you're sleepwalking or not, or you're snoring or not, or you're dreaming or not, and you don't even remember. It doesn't matter. You need to know about sleep, because sleep is a very important thing. In fact, when you sleep, your body rests, it recovers, it rejuvenates, and it's just a good thing overall. So the 4 stages of sleep are what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about, some people call it N1, some people call it NREM1, which stands for non-REM, REM meaning rapid eye movement. And prior to 2007, there actually used to be 5 stages of sleep. Now there's only 4. And in 2007, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine changed it to 4, yes, 4, which is why it's a good fit for the Wellness FOURplay Podcast. So how does it work? The first stage of sleep is when you go from being awake, you lie horizontal or upside down if you're a vampire or whatever it is. It's when you go from waking to sleeping, and that transition takes between 5 and 10 minutes on average, and it's called the NREM or non-REM stage 1 of sleep. Takes, like I said, about 5 to 10 minutes. And in that stage, your brain is still relatively active. Your body starts to slow down a little bit. You start to relax a little bit. And then you usually get right into NREM stage 2 or non-REM sleep stage 2. And that is where your body temperature drops. Your brain starts to become less and less active. Your muscles start to relax and slow down. Your eye movements start to relax and slow down. And this typically takes about 20 minutes per cycle. But get this, in this non-REM stage 2 of sleep, of your entire time sleeping per night, you spend about 50% of the time in this stage, meaning you go rapidly through cycles and you come back through stage 2, you come back through stage 2 and back through stage 2. So the equivalent is about 50% of the time you spend sleeping is in this stage. Well, it's preparing you for the third, and I think the most important stage of sleep, called non-REM stage 3 or delta sleep or deep sleep. When you're in deep sleep, your muscles really relax, your heart rate drops, your body temperature drops, your brain literally kind of shuts off and your eye movements stop. And it's where your body regenerates, it rejuvenates, it heals, which is why it's so critically important. And where people suffer from sleep, they usually suffer from this one, because maybe the circumstances aren't right. Maybe they had a big meal before they went to bed. Maybe they spent too much time, or they spend too much time on electronics devices, which you should not do right before bed. Maybe they just are, they didn't drink enough water, or they drank too much water, or they drank some alcohol. So these types of things, alcohol consumption, eating a big meal before you go to bed, being on your phone or your computer before you go to bed, all things that are going to help keep you out of or prevent you from getting into this non-REM stage sleep, which is really the most important. Why? Because you rejuvenate. It's when your body heals and you literally recover. The deeper or the longer you are in this non-REM stage 3 sleep or delta wave sleep or deep sleep, the more you wake up feeling refreshed the next day. Pretty amazing. This is why you should get into this stage, or do things to help get you into this stage, like not eating big meals, staying off your electronics devices, or if you do, wear blue blocker glasses, or ideally red colored goggles to make sure no blue or green light gets in, so that your body actually produces, or your brain produces melatonin, helping you get into this stage. And if you are a sleepwalker, this is the stage that you sleepwalk in. My short story here, a true fact. My brother growing up, I could get him to sleepwalk anytime. His name is Christopher, and I would just say, Chris. And I would keep saying it kind of rhythmically like that until he responded. He'd go, huh? And he would literally open his eyes, and I could have a full-on conversation with him and have him follow me. This is what I used to do. Have him follow me out into the living room, out the front door, onto the front lawn, and then lay him down, tell him to go back to sleep, cover him up with a blanket, and know at 6 a.m., our sprinklers are going to come on. and they're going to wake him up. But I could get him in that every single time. So Christopher, if you're watching this, please forgive me for the 500th time. It was just fun growing up as a kid. So if people may exploit their friendship or their relationship with you in your sleep, it's going to be during this sleep cycle, because you sleepwalk and you're actually kind of influenceable during this time. So now let's talk about the fourth stage, which is the rapid eye movement, or the REM stage of sleep, which is where dreaming happens. Dreaming is very cool because your brain is extremely active. It lights up like crazy on scans. It's when your heart rate is irregular, your breathing is irregular, they both fluctuate. But here's something interesting. Your body actually becomes almost paralyzed, because you don't want to be acting out your dreams. Now, this is something I find very different in dogs. When my dog dreams, he is moving, he is running. He actually, on his side, both his front and back legs will move rapidly like he's running in his dreams. And I'm glad that doesn't happen to human beings, because I've never seen anybody do that. And I don't think I've ever done that, because I've never run out of bed, but my dog would. But it's something where your body really, really becomes immobilized while your brain is fully active. And this is interesting too. During this stage of sleep and the deep stage, the stage 3 phase that I just talked about before this, it's where memories are consolidated. So things that happened during the day, things that have happened recently, actually go from your short-term into your long-term memory. So sleep stages are very important to preserve memories, create memories, relax your body, and let your brain be fully active. And it's very important that you go through all 4 stages of sleep, because when people don't, and sleep patterns are interrupted because maybe you drank some alcohol, you ate a big meal, you got up to go pee a couple times during the night, and you didn't have complete cycles, you start to get irritable. You can have short temper. You can actually interfere with your learning process and your growth cycle of maintaining and learning and growing academically, and actually cause physical challenge too, cause psychological and emotional issues as well. And obviously, because of not healing, can cause all kinds of physical problems, inflammation, pain syndromes, headaches, and things like that, all because your sleep cycles are interrupted. So do what is best for you to make sure that you get all 4 stages of sleep, as many cycles as possible throughout the night. And each cycle lasts about 90 minutes. So it depends on how many times you go through it throughout the night. If you look at each sleep cycle as being 90 minutes, you want to make sure you rack up maybe 5 or 6 throughout the night to make sure you get a good night's sleep. So kind of in summary, NREM stage 1, 5 to 10 minutes as you transition from sleeping or being awake into sleep. NREM stage 2, where you actually start to relax, your body temperature drops. It's about 20 minutes in that cycle, but all the cycles considered, it makes up about 50% of your entire time sleeping, preparing you for the 3rd stage of sleep, which is deep sleep, also called delta sleep, because your brain goes into high delta wave during that time. And when it does, your body recovers, it regenerates, it recuperates. It's when your healing happens. So it's very important that you get into and maintain as many deep sleep cycles as possible. And then stage 4 is the REM, or rapid eye movement stage of dreaming, where you also have memory consolidation in that 3rd and 4th stage of sleep. So what can you do to maximize your sleep potential? Get as much as you can. 1, try to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every day. Make it habitual. Try not to eat big meals before you go to bed. Try not to drink a lot of water before you go to bed. Try to get off your electronic devices probably at 7 p.m. or maybe a couple hours before you go to bed. And if you do stay on them, use blue blocker glasses and preferably red colored goggles to make sure that very little of that blue light, if any, gets in. Maybe supplement with some melatonin or something like that, and make sure you have good nutrition, good vitamins, so your body's not needing anything. And then ideally make your room really dark and really cool or cold. Those darkness and cold environment makes for really good, comfortable sleeping. And then obviously a nice pillow, nice bed that you're comfortable in, and make sure that you are just doing as best as you can to make sure you get as much sleep as you can. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Wellness FOURplay Podcast. Again, I am Dr. Dondee Nettles. We'll see you tomorrow for episode 41. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. God bless.